Hey everybody, welcome back to the Ballrooms and Bachelors Podcast, where we talk about dance, life, and all things Bachelor. I'm Matthew.
And I'm Camille.
So we are back for episode 3, and we have quite a bit to get to today. We have a few updates, and then that are some dance related, and then also some Bachelor news kind of stuff. And then we're gonna get into episode 4. I was about to say 3, but there was 2 episodes last week. Episode 4 of Bachelor in Paradise, which was really there was a lot that went on. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get to that. So I guess the first thing we're gonna start out with is kind of just like you said, dance. So do you have any? I know it's probably not a lot. I know we said that, but
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while. We haven't really done much since we recorded. I'm going back for a lesson tonight. We're gonna go after
yeah,
dinner. And I think that's really it. I'm just getting more things set for the Dallas trip. I
that's so
did
exciting.
receive my outfit, at least like I'm gonna run it past Elena today. I did receive my outfit in the mail today. I got the last piece in the mail.
That's so
So I'm
exciting.
gonna do I don't know, maybe I'll do a part dress rehearsal with at least the dance that I
Yeah.
later. So we'll see what happens.
That should be
But
fun.
that's all and I'm going to officially register for the Dallas comp tonight.
Awesome.
That's the most I have for dance, but I don't know. I mean, I
Yes.
really don't have anything aside.
Yes, I really don't have very much because especially since we talked about in last week's episode, I was away in Texas for a week
Mhm.
for vacation. So I wasn't at the studio like we said. So like I had said in the first episode, I believe, I'm back. I am doing a hip hop showcase with our instructor Elena as well. And I'm officially confirmed that I am going to perform it at Mini Match, which I'm very excited
Mhm.
about. It's very quickly approaching. They actually just sent us the text right now saying it's like it's so funny how like we're doing this all in real time, how like there's so many
Yeah.
updates happening. But it's coming up in a few weeks and we still have about like a minute 45 seconds to a minute of the choreography to still choreograph. So I have 2 lessons coming up later this week that we're gonna just completely finish it and then just practice it up until the competition. So which will be really fun because I have
Yes.
not done a mini match event in quite a while, especially because of the whole study abroad stuff. It kind of took me away from the studio for a little bit. So I am very excited to get back to that. And again, like we talked about, it's a special routine to me.
Mhm.
So I think it should be fun, and I'm excited for people to see it.
Yes, I know. We have to figure out which day, but
Yeah,
when
exactly.
we
We'll
get
get
to
to
those
that later.
details. Um, so I think that was it for dance.
Yeah.
So we wanted to go over some different topics that were related to like, Bachelor in Paradise and Bachelor stuff that, we haven't had the time the past 2 episodes. It's been crazy. The first week was
hmm
all the updates. Last week we just had like 5 hours of TV to
It
cover.
was crazy.
So you have to chart. So one thing I know you and I were texting about it earlier was
Mhm.
so like I've been trying to get better about like catching up on all the Bachelor recap podcasts
Yeah,
that
yeah,
we listen
yeah.
to. Like we mostly listen to the same ones.
Yeah.
And so just like any funny things that come up. So the
Yeah.
one, so like Wells Adams, who's the bartender on Bachelor in Paradise,
Yeah.
he has a podcast that he does with Brandy Cyrus that I listen to. He has another golf podcast, and now he actually started another podcast.
Yeah.
It's a Traders rewatch podcast.
I saw that.
I don't watch Traders.
Me neither.
If you're into it,
Maybe check it
just
out.
yeah,
Yeah.
check it out. Just message me. I can forward you the information. He just posted it like yesterday or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, he was like recapping the episode with Brandy on his podcast, and he talked about what we talked about on last week's episode. Parisa and Brian had that whole fun conversation about like, well, if I was in jail and I called you and you had to go burn the flop,
Yeah,
and then I just laughed because Wells said he's like, that is the most New Jersey Italian thing to happen, and I'm like, as a New Jersey Italian,
Yep.
I
It's like we both relate. We're good. Exactly.
like we relate.
We
So,
relate.
so that was just like a passing thing that I thought was funny. The
Yeah.
other big
Oh
drama
boy,
is
this is crazy.
the whole with Justin giving Susie the rose. What ensued was like Justin had an Instagram post. I couldn't even find
Me neither. I
it,
just I couldn't do much research for
maybe
it.
it got deleted, but I
Maybe.
did see a post that like had screenshots of it. But
hmm
Justin had done a post about like him leaving Paradise, and then he had like a big long caption, and then Lexi followed up after, and then they got into this whole like
Back and forth. Yeah.
argument.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So everybody can see it. And basically, Justin kind of was saying about how he just felt like, look, I hope people can understand this is a very complex situation, but like I was I would rather give my rose to somebody I really cared about than somebody who was kind of like starting to give me indications that they weren't interested in me and that I had found out that they didn't want to live anywhere outside of the area where they lived, and we were in different phases of life and then
hmm
the same things and the whole thing. And then Lexi followed up and she basically said like I
Didn't say any of that.
didn't say that,
Yeah.
like this is untrue, and like, I forgot her exact words.
Yeah,
It was
it
like,
was along those lines.
and then
Yeah.
he kind of was just like, it was true. We had the camera footage, but they didn't post it and
Oh,
da da da, or
yeah.
they didn't air it and da da da. And it went, I think it went back and forth for a bit. So I don't know if it was since deleted and people just had the
The
screenshots,
screenshots.
which is
Yeah. I
what I
mean,
see.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, I think, how do I say this? I personally feel like Justin probably shouldn't have said it,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
I feel like I don't think he's wrong if that's what happened because like we only see so many clips.
Yeah. So it's really hard to say who's right in this situation.
Like a lot of this had come out, like the Instagram comments had come out, and I was listening to the Bachelor Recap podcast. And
Hmm.
I listened to our podcast when it got posted the other day again, just to like listen back to what we said. And then I heard, I think we said to that effect
Yeah.
of um like Lexi all of a sudden she like flipped
She
in the rose
flipped.
ceremony
Yeah.
that she seemed like interested in him again. And
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think partially maybe he should have given another shot, but like we're not in his head, so
Yeah. So who knows? Yeah.
I don't know. But it was a little bit of a craziness.
And it was funny because you didn't even know about it. And like I had heard about it on the podcast, but then you text me and you're like, oh no way. Like because it was so like out of left field of how that ended up happening. But yeah, like you said, it's hard to really kind of pick a side in this because again, we don't
Yeah.
see everything. Especially with like he said, she said on like social media, especially within the Bachelor franchise. I just feel like again, it's really difficult.
Listen, if she had expressed those things, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That's fine. If he didn't feel like, I mean, there were even the clips like when they did the kissing thing. Like
Yeah.
he wasn't super interested in it. So like it was clear to me that she wasn't all in with him
Yes.
as he was with her. And she's fine if she has the reservations. Like
That's
I said
fine.
in the last episode too, I was like, if she has it in her mind that he's not over Susie, nothing he says or does is going to change that. And
Exactly.
like if she just didn't feel like it was the right thing, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I think in his point, then he's like, okay, he's not going to keep investing into someone.
And then that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's like it is what it is. It's just
Yeah.
like it was messy.
Well, exactly like what we had said too is that in like when she changed her like kind of attitude towards it,
Yeah.
like completely 180'd it, which was crazy because like we had said, she was completely like, "Oh, I'm not sure. Like I feel like you're still like with Susie and everything. You feel like you're still like
Yeah.
dwelling in that." And then not even 20 minutes before the rose ceremony, I was like, "Oh no, I'm all in now." It's like I don't know how you can actually like do that.
Yeah, and I think like she's justified in being frustrated
Yeah,
by him
totally.
giving the rose to Susie. So it's
Yes.
like I still see that side.
Yes, I do too. Yeah.
So that's a little messy.
So it is crazy.
I
Yeah.
didn't write it in our notes, but the other thing was Justin also has um become known for doing like espresso martini reviews at
Yes.
different restaurants like all around wherever he travels. So he just came out with a canned espresso martini
Yeah.
beverage called Love Potion.
Mhm.
Now I haven't really sat down to do it yet, but I think I want to order
That was me, mate. Yeah.
it
It's like we're supporting you just in this endeavor. Exactly.
for the podcast.
Yes.
No, I mean I have enjoyed espresso martinis, so
Yes. She's like, I'm an expert at that. I'm good.
I'm just like, I definitely would be interested in
Uh-huh.
um Okay, so yeah, I think that was it. And then you take it away.
Okay.
We've talked in some of the past episodes about so the Golden Bachelor should be premiering in the
The
fall.
fall, I think it's like early September, so it's not even like 2 months away.
Yeah, and so there was a little bit of drama happening, and
Yeah.
I like only skimmed some of the information, so Matthew's going to go into it.
Okay, so I also don't have like the complete facts, but I have like the kind of concrete details of everything.
Yes.
So Mel, right? I think Mel was going to be the Golden Bachelor. I believe that Mel Owens.
Look it up.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So Mel Owens was going to be the Golden Bachelor from Jones season. And there was this whole scandal. I don't know what podcast
Yes.
he was on. Yeah, okay. Mel Owens. So he went on a podcast. I don't know if it was like some kind of Bachelor Nation podcast or some kind of or just like another podcast within
Mhm.
maybe the fandom or something. But I guess they were talking about, oh, what are you kind of looking for in the women that are going to be on your season and everything. And then he got on this whole, I don't want to say rant, but just went on this whole conversation about saying how um like he had this certain checklist of people or of women of what he was kind of looking for. And he was like, oh, if they have all these like different, I guess, like body feature things that I guess he doesn't approve of. And then if they were over a certain age, he said he would cut them right away. So it got a lot of people riled up, which I think rightfully so, because again, it's kind of like being very picky, choosy with
I think the other thing was that I forgot the age, but the age range was a lot lower than what the
Yes.
age range was for Golden Bachelor.
Yes, exactly. Well, he had said that's it's so true because I think he had said if they were over 60, he would cut them, which is weird because I think he's in his mid 60s and I think he said the age was going to be like 59, between the 40 and 59 or whatever. But I know some people that go on the regular
Yeah.
Bachelor and Bachelorette that are in like the mid 30s, so then it's just like that doesn't make any sense. So again, I that's really the only concrete details that
Yeah.
I really know, but we were kind of just researching before we started
Mhm.
recording that there were kind of rumors up in the air that he was out and as the lead for the for this upcoming season. It really, I haven't seen any confirmation, but to my knowledge, that's what I assumed was that that was finalized. But we really can't find anything that that's the case. And I don't know what they would do. I mean, they probably could recast it very quickly and probably just use maybe the same women that were going to be on the season
Yeah.
because the season's premiering, like we said, in like less than 2 months. So
We'll see.
we'll see what happens. But it was definitely very interesting. We said we would get to it. So.
Yeah, and the other thing too was I forgot what show it was, but like I'm watching the Instagram stories last night, or I think I saw it, maybe it was just an ad. And
Mhm.
it said like now casting, like, are you looking
Yeah.
for love with Mel? Like casting for Golden Bachelor. And I saw this last night, so that's why I told Matthew. I was like, I guess they're still casting,
Yeah.
like right up till the last second, I guess.
Yeah,
So maybe
totally.
they're just desperate for people.
It'd be like good. Do you think it could be a thing where it's like, I mean, I don't know why they would still use Mel's name in a post if he wasn't going to be the lead, but do you think it could be something that like maybe it was just an old thing, but then like you said, and they would just say just casting for Golden Bachelor, you don't have to say a name.
So, I
So
mean, it did say the name. I mean, it could be because when they run the Instagram ads, I'm sure there's like a contract with the whole thing. But at the end of the day, I mean, and we've heard it before too that like sometimes people that end up on the shows, they get cast like they live in the California area and they get cast like the
last
last
minute.
second. But personally, I'm like with the Golden Group, I see that being like less likely because I
Yeah.
feel like it's a lot easier for them to reach out to like younger generation,
Right.
to a guy or girl that's like living in LA and be like, "Hey, you want to be on a
Yeah,
show?"
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think they're gonna more eagerly jump at it, but
We'll see what happens with
we'll
that, but it
see.
seems like again it's up in the air. We'll see
Just
what
to give
happens.
you guys some information.
Yes,
Here's
if you
the
didn't know, now you
balls.
do.
You do. Yeah.
Exactly. So I guess we'll get into the Bachelor in Paradise recap.
Yeah.
So we're taking our notes a little bit differently this
Yes.
episode, which is I think for the better, just because I feel like we've kind of, as you guys have probably noticed, that we've done separate notes. So now we're doing bullet points, but still have separate notes, and we'll kind of just keep ourselves on track.
Yes.
But then we might go on tangents for our own notes. This was episode 4. And then this was kind of like we talked about last week, where we really thought that we would see a lot
Hmm.
more of the Goldens kind of really showcase in the next episode, which I feel like they were. I feel like they actually dominated this
Yeah.
episode over
Yeah.
last week when they arrived. So that
Yeah.
was really cool. And then the first thing that we wanted to talk about was Jonathan and April, which is so crazy. I mean, that was completely out of nowhere. And he, what
So
are your thoughts on it?
of the end of the last episode where they kept going like um like April goes to Jonathan like I'm second door on the right, second door on the right, and they
Yeah,
left it with like he's like Jonathan's like whatever, and I'm like okay, that he's just gonna go to her for like advice to just
yeah,
get guidance and whatever. So they like that was essentially what had happened, but and it happens like multiple times throughout the episode.
yeah.
So but the
So I can't with
the
this.
what's nuts is she stands with him and is like putting her head on his chest
And it just starts like purring
and
like
starts purring, and she's like, "This is what I do when I love someone." And I'm like, okay. And then, but so they also cut to the fact that I guess Jonathan said that he was the one that put on the secret thing that he hooked up with someone that's 25 years older than
yes,
him.
yeah, yeah.
And I was like,
It's
okay,
like, okay, yeah.
but they never go back to it.
No.
They never go back to it.
So
But
it's really funny.
there, and then I just again, really, the producers killed it with
Yes,
the quotes
as
of the
always.
phrases, and I'm like, so they put Jonathan of Sweat into the oldies
Yeah.
for that part. And that I don't know. It's just they're trying to play up the whole dynamic between them, which like I think it's they're trying to make it more of a thing for the TV, and I think it's like it's funny.
Like,
There's
yeah.
some real implications of this later on, but anyway.
Yes, yeah, and I just think it's so funny, like you had said, how I was kind of getting the vibe, how especially when Jonathan was looking straight at the camera, like where he was like very uncomfortable but didn't know what to do, so he was just like, okay, I'm gonna like, oh, this is whatever. But his reaction was just so funny. But yeah, I don't know. I guess Well, yeah, crazy things are happening right now in Paradise.
Yes.
So, and then the next thing we wanted to talk about. So they were doing this water aerobics. They had like
Yeah.
everybody in the pool. It was like a very short
Yeah.
thing, but I just
It's
thought
funny.
it was very funny and like have everybody in the pool together, like the Goldens and the Youngins together. I just thought that whole dynamic was
It was good.
very funny. And then we had the very quick the women had the roses this week, so that was again just like
Mhm.
they changed every episode. And then we wanted to talk about how Natasha and RJ, they had showed their conversation.
Yeah.
And from that first conversation, I actually thought they had a very good connection. It seemed
Yeah.
like from a quick glance, again, like they only show us so much from on these shows, but I
Mhm.
just got the vibe that they're both very upbeat
Yeah.
and very just like very extroverted. I kind of
Yeah.
got that
Yeah.
sense from both of them. And kind of again, like I said, from the first
Yeah.
kind of thought that they looked good together. I don't know what your thoughts
Yeah,
were.
I do agree. I thought they had a nice conversation, so I had put that down. Natasha, I just want to say she has chair earrings
Hmm.
because in the when she was on Golden Bachelor, she said something about like, can't we get a chair or something
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
rose
yeah.
ceremony? So she wears these chair earrings. So it's
That's
funny.
right.
And you
Yeah.
see the promos, that's why that is a thing.
Irrelevant. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I thought they had a good conversation.
Yeah, me too.
But then,
But then we got another exciting guy who is arriving. We got a new arrival. Gary arrives, which again, talk about upbeat personality.
yeah,
So again, it's just like it's a perfect segue.
yeah,
He arrived, and I just wrote down in my notes. Gary arrives. We love his personality because
yeah,
again, I just think he's so cool. He's like that like cool grandpa like everybody
yeah.
wants. It's just
It's related to Tina Turner.
I think that might be true. I thought he
Yeah.
said something like that. I could be wrong,
Past,
but
yeah.
I thought he that sounds very familiar. And then from very early on, they were showing it, and Leslie seems to be really into him pretty
Yes.
quickly. So
Yes.
they were kind of showing her talking. It's like, oh
Yes.
yeah, I think Gary's really cool and everything like that. So that you kind of got that implication.
And Kathy's also super happy that
Yes,
he's there. She
yes,
made it a big point. She's like, he's such a catch. And
yes,
she just went on a whole litany of stuff.
yes,
Kathy is a character, as
yes.
we know.
Yes, and as we know, our next point,
Yeah, that was
yeah,
good.
that's a perfect
Um,
segue again. So I just wrote Kathy and RJ OMG. It's like again, just like the Jonathan and April thing, this thing is just as like funny and crazy when they were doing the body
I
shots.
think it was Kathy and CK.
Was it Kathy and
I
CK?
think it was RJ at first,
Oh,
and
me
then he
too.
got up, and then I'm like, oh no, that's CK.
Okay,
Yeah, Kathy started them on for the Goldens, started doing body shots,
yeah,
but I don't think anybody else. They didn't play it in
they
there.
didn't play it. It was just them. Yeah,
I mean, it might have been more people, but I was
that's all
like,
they
oh my
showed.
gosh, the
Yeah.
Goldens are doing this. Like Kathy's wild.
Yes.
It's a quick scene, and then they're like, okay, we're gonna
On
go
to the
back
next thing.
to
Back to the normal program, everybody. Exactly.
Gary gets a date
Gary
card.
gets the date card, so Jesse arrives and gives Gary the date card. And
Hmm.
then I just thought it was funny how Keith said that he was hella jealous. I wrote that down. And then and then yeah. So then he talks to the ladies. He talks to a few
Yeah,
people. He talks to Kathy, Leslie, and Natasha. And it was funny because I
I have
wrote
something for this.
oh, go.
No,
Oh,
no,
you
no,
sure?
keep
Okay.
going, keep going.
So with his talk with Leslie, just same thing. It kind of seemed like they were very much in agreement on a lot of things, like how they
Yeah.
wanted to live life and kind of life outside of paradise, what they kind of wanted to look for in a
Mhm.
relationship. That seemed very much in agreement. And I was really not surprised. I mean, we'll get to this. I think Gary picked was more a surprise to me, just because if they were setting it up that with his conversation with Natasha,
Yeah.
it just seemed like that was such like a really ideal fit because they both talk about how much they love dancing for fun and again which
Yeah.
again
Vested interest here.
exactly
I
both
love
of
dancing.
both agree with loving dancing
Mhm.
and so and I literally just put in my notes I was like she would fit in with our dance group
Yeah.
very well like I picture Natasha you would fit very
Yeah.
well in our friend group at the studio so then and I said I feel like she has a much better connection with him than with like Kathy or Leslie. At least that's what
Yeah.
I thought, even though I thought both of the other conversations were good, but that just seemed like a really ideal fit to me.
Because Gary also loves dancing, and that was the thing. I you'll hear what I'm going to say. So dancing is my superpower, is what she said
Yes.
to him, because he was talking about loving dancing. His date card is to go dancing. They
Yeah.
were like bonding over that. He was like, why do you say that dancing is your superpower? And she says, I went to high school for the performing arts.
Yeah.
And she was like, I challenge people when they say they can't dance. I challenge them. So my friend Lauren,
Oh, yes. I don't know where you're going with this, but such a good comparison.
And Lauren knows, I already told her I'm talking about this in the podcast. So like Natasha's on this part and she's like, when people say they can't dance, I challenge them because people know how to dance. You just gotta you gotta try.
You gotta try.
So my friend Lauren, she I'm sorry, I'm putting on blast. She says she can't dance, and like we have had this conversation with her because Matthew's gone to meet her too.
Yes.
And we're like, no, you can definitely dance whenever. A few months ago, the three of us like had gone to hang out, and we were in the car talking about this whole thing and like telling Lauren she needs to dance. So now she's settled on, she's going to try to learn slight movements. Like if we go to karaoke again, she's going to learn how to do slight movements. She sings to whatever song that is not the 10-minute version of All Too Well by Taylor Swift, but we won't go down that.
It's a very long story, so we'll get to that another time.
Just when Natasha said that, I immediately texted Lauren and I was like, I know you're probably behind me on Bachelor in Paradise, but I'm going to bring you up with the thing that Natasha's dancing.
And it was funny because she had said, if you can walk, you can dance. So it's just like so again, it's like all comes together. So you got that.
It's gonna be our 2025 goal, or if not early 2026. Anyway.
Yes, we're gonna end up get her dancing. And so so that was really funny.
If you had anything else for those.
So that was pretty much it that I had for that. And then we started going to they were kind of just going back to touching base with all the younger couples. And then
Dale,
Dale.
I think he said a passing comment of we're not in a toxic relationship.
Yeah, something like that. And again, I mean, again, that's a little cliffhanger. So yeah, Gary asked Leslie on the date, which I thought, again, like I said, was somewhat of a surprise to me, even though, like I had said, their connection seemed really, really good and they agreed on a lot of stuff. But I don't know. Again, just felt that the Natasha connection was much better, but that was me.
They showed. I mean, I think it's like you can have still a great conversation with someone and then like it's just the
vibe is
romantically interested in someone else. I mean, I think but Natasha did feel hurt by that because I think in her mind it like she felt like they had a good conversation, but obviously she's not. I was just like reflecting on this too as like we've been going through this. Is like I just feel like you can see how much the Goldens like the young ones too, but like the Goldens really like value and they have a very good conversation with another person. So like I think that's why when push comes to shove, it really depends on like who does Gary feel like he's gonna vibe the most with, like from a romantic perspective. But like it doesn't mean that he can't have like the good conversation.
Exactly.
With Natasha. So it's like, but it's very important to them too. Yeah. You know, but anyway.
And that might have been a way that they edited it too. They might have been like, oh, it's like a no-brainer, it's Natasha, but then maybe the conversations with Leslie, they didn't show. Was like, oh this makes sense. So again, it's just really all what they show. So we have a Dale and Kat situation, which obviously got very, very heated throughout the episode. And so what was happening was that Dale and Kat were talking, and Kat asked him the question. It was did he kiss somebody outside of the kissing booth?
Did he kiss Allie Joe outside?
Kiss Allie Joe outside the kissing booth, and he said yes.
But he hesitated.
He did hesitate.
He's like well, yeah.
So he's like, what's the big deal?
There's nothing wrong with him doing that.
Yes. No, exactly. Just like, let's clarify. But so then Kat got all upset and was like, well, I feel like we had open communication and everything like that. And that kind of started the whole spiral where where like Kat kind of got triggered. It's like, well, you don't listen to me, everything like that. And so
So I have a lot of notes.
Yes, me too.
Because we were texting at the time and I was just like, oh, this whole thing. No, so basically like he just said like he answered, he said yes, but he like hesitated at first and he said yes and he's like, yeah, but like I didn't have that much of a, like it was like whatever, we connected, but it wasn't that much. And then he's like, but then I deaded it. And this is
I literally wrote in my notes that that's going to become the new keeping the main thing. That's what I said.
Like, I'm like, is this like an actual like Gen Z phrase? I mean,
I've never heard it before.
Sorry, wait, he's a millennial.
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Such a
millennial. I was about to say nothing to
like Gen Z. Yes. Oh my gosh.
But when he was saying that, I kind of was thinking, oh, again, it's just that he's kind of brushing it on the rug. It doesn't really matter. That's what I thought he meant by it.
But the thing is, so like he was like, well, I deaded it, meaning like, because then he let her, he picked Kat, gave her the rose, and then that was it. It was done with Allie Joe, and that's all fine. But he says that, and then, but Kat, her point is, she's like, if I never asked, would you have told me, or would I have found it out from watching the playback? Mm-hmm. And then she's like, well, that's like a red flag, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, and it's not so much even if she, there's like so many levels of this, because I feel like she asked him, did you say it? And if he was just like direct,
Yeah.
clear, whatever, and like didn't try to get defensive about it. It's like, okay, but
That's a
they had
different
the open
story.
communication.
Yeah.
But the fact that he started to get defensive about it, didn't want to talk about it,
Yeah.
and then he says, I understand where you're coming from, but move past it. That is completely invalidating her feelings.
Yeah, it totally. Yeah.
Because it's like,
Because like you had said,
anyway.
if he was saying something like, "Oh, I didn't realize that like
Yeah.
hurt you. I'm so sorry I made you feel that way. Like let's like work on
No.
open communication," then I think that would have been a different story. But the fact like you had said he was like, "Oh no, like why are you feeling that way?" It's like not a big
Yeah.
deal. Then again, it's like, how is she like gonna feel in that? Of course she's gonna feel like, "Oh, you're not listening to how I'm feeling." That's what people should do in a
Yeah.
relationship. So yeah.
The thing is that like I took the note of like I felt she's probably just very triggered from her last experience in
Yes.
Paradise, which later on in the episode she's just like it's not about that.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, okay, so
Yeah.
I'm wrong too. I mean, it's like obviously it's a natural assumption to make,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
also not Dale.
Yes.
So we want to go to the next.
Yes, we can go to the next
So
thing.
Kat now goes to talk to Jonathan.
Mhm.
So as we remember, I mean, aside from April and the purring situation, Jonathan doesn't really have a rose.
No, like
He
anybody,
opened it.
yeah.
So, Kat goes to talk to Jonathan though as a friend, and then again with the captions of like ready to swoop in.
Yep.
Because they're thinking like, oh, Jonathan sees his angle and this
Uh-huh.
whole thing. And they have like a quick conversation, about it,
Yeah.
what's going on with Dale. So I don't
Mhm.
know. Did you have anything else?
That was pretty much it. Again, it was kind of self-explanatory how Jonathan was like, "Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's not right." Like, yeah, whatever. So yeah,
Then
it
they
makes
cut
sense.
to Gary and Leslie's date. They go on the date.
Yes, they go salsa dancing,
Yes.
which we know very well within
Yes.
our friend group. Yes, I mean, I was like, that's something we would do.
At least the thing they showed was the salsa. I mean, I don't know.
They made it
anything.
whatever. Yeah,
They did any, sensual bachata or
say sensual. Maybe that could have
maybe
fitted
that
in with
also
the relationship. Yeah,
fitted
yeah.
in. But no. So they go on the date. I was just cracking up because they took all his meds. And
Yeah.
But they also had that dream sequence clip.
That was so good.
It's like, okay, some of these things on the show were a little much, like the whole Dale thing with the
Yeah,
episode
yes.
that my whole thing on that.
Yes.
But no, the one that they did with Gary and Leslie was funny because he caught the rose and then
Yeah.
thing and then he goes to give her the rose.
Yep.
And I was like, oh my God.
That was really funny. Yeah.
But I thought the date was really good.
Me
They
too.
connected well. They were dancing.
Yeah.
They looked pretty good on the dance floor.
Yep.
Like, I don't know. I was happy with the way that whole thing went. And
Yes.
I see the connection with them.
Me too. And I thought it was really cool because I mean, this is a very small note, but they were saying how like they're the first golden people on a date in paradise. So that was obviously like a pretty special
Yeah.
thing. And they both said they were also hopeless and romantic. So like not even just with the dancing part, they both seem they have like a lot of similar personality traits of kind of again, like I said, what they're looking
Yeah.
for, like after whatever, like what they want to do after the show is done, and
Mhm.
kind of what they're looking for in a future partner. So again, I felt like they're on very, very similar kind of paths.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I thought it was a very good date for sure.
Yeah. So then, wow, it's like already.
That's a word I know.
Then they start the rose ceremony cocktail hour.
Yeah.
So April's walking around with a Cupid's arrow.
Mhm.
I don't know.
I know what that's supposed to
don't
be.
know
Yeah.
where that all started, but did you? I mean, then they go cut to Alex and Andrew.
Yeah. So that was next thing I had
They
too.
put Alex's thing of still can't talk.
Still can't. I know.
So adorable. With this thing. Oh, but then the next thing they said, do you want to say it?
You go ahead.
So, like, Alex just has a very, like, sweet thing to Andrew.
Yeah.
Which is really funny because, I'm like, I get what she's saying. Because she's just like, like, I feel like the time I've been here, like, I've been, like, shy and the whole thing. But she goes to Andrew, you bring the light
out of me. I know.
It's cute.
It's so sweet.
He's, like, trying to say, like, we fit together.
Yeah.
But she says, like, you fit in me.
Yeah.
And Andrew raises his eyebrows or whatever, and then they laugh, and they were joking, and then she's like, "Well, like we fit
together." Yeah. And I love like the way that Alex, like the way that she talks, and the way that kind of like she trips, like you said, she trips on her own words. She'll like kind of pause. She's like, "Oh wait, okay," and then she'll like say what she actually means.
Yeah.
And I just love how Andrew, like he was like, "I know what you mean." Like I love Andrew.
Yeah.
And I wrote down, I think. I just with that and the cute kind of again what she said to him, and then the whole kind of laughing about like the kind of innuendo, which I guess you could say. I just wrote that because of that. I felt it's a much better connection to Jonathan, just romantically. So
Just because I think that's where, yeah, I'm gonna still go back to the fact that I think Jonathan was way too passive and he was trying to be nice with everyone, and that's why like he didn't step it up, and
yeah,
Andrew stepped it up. So
right.
like, go Andrew.
Go Andrew. Yes. So
But
then,
it was like super hot, and she got up, and then she was just like, ay ay ay,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
commando. I'm like, what
Yeah,
if
like so.
these things
I
before?
know,
I don't
and it
know.
was so funny how I was like, that was the last thing they said before they cut to the next scene. So it's just like, okay, cool.
Um,
So then the next thing,
Kim and
oh,
Leslie.
geez, Kim and Leslie. This was so awkward, but you know what do you
This
have
was
on
just the
the
first part
the
because it was
first part?
this
Yeah.
wasn't after the rose ceremony. This
No,
was
this was
before the rose.
before. Yeah, it was so awkward.
Kim is Captain Kim, and you
Captain Kim.
know that on the season of the Golden Bachelorette, there
Yeah.
was a period of time where he likes poetry, he likes writing songs.
Mm-hmm.
This is beautiful. Great traits.
Yep.
But sometimes there's a time and a place. And
Yes.
so in the Golden Bachelorette season, he had written a song
Mm-hmm.
for the men, which actually is pretty good because
Yes.
they had them perform it at the after
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
was
It
really
was
funny.
really funny. Yeah.
The women or the men that are here for oh my god, the Golden Bachelorette and the whole thing. So Kim like wanted them all to sing the song, and there was a
Mhm.
whole thing with the guys. Like, not all of these guys wanted to sing the song.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing this. This is awkward. This is weird.
Mhm.
So that's what happened in Golden Bachelorette. So this is we'll get back to the singing.
Yes, yes,
later.
yes.
But like Garrett, sorry, I am it jumped. Oh, Kim and Leslie were talking, and he definitely likes Leslie.
Yes.
And Leslie's just like clearly shutting him down.
Yes, does not like him.
Friend zone. She
Very much friend zone.
says in the note like friend zone.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And then that was the whole anyway, so that was the whole thing. So you're like, okay, this whole part, and I don't know if they showed the in the moment at that point or later, but like Kim is just like, I know I'm getting Leslie's rose at the rose ceremony, and
I was like, boy, you're mistaken.
she just said to you, or like she just said in her interview that you're friend zone. So like,
yes, so I don't think that's happening. Yeah.
This is dramatic irony, folks.
Yes.
Anyway, Jeremy and Bailey.
Jillian and Bailey. Oh my gosh.
Freaking out, and then she goes to him, do you want this gum back? I think I almost vomited.
I know, me too. It was so.
See, they're fine.
They're that comfortable. Yeah.
The chaos that ensued.
But that is not
I
really.
think I almost threw. Listen, if you do that with your partner,
fine, cool. Yeah, I mean, that's no judgment.
in front of me.
No, please. Exactly. I mean, if that's a private thing, you go for it. But exactly, but don't do it in front of us. Yes. So that was really funny. And yeah, that was all I had for that.
That was a part. So okay, then they cut back. So April was talking to Kim.
Yeah, April was talking to Kim.
And then that's when he was like, he's confident he's gonna get Leslie's rose. But I guess like April must have like she probably flirted with all the guys.
Probably. No shame. No shame. No shame.
Shame in her.
Exactly.
But like, so Kim just takes it upon himself to tell April, well, like, I'm not interested. I will never see you as more than a friend. And I'm thinking, like, I don't think she's that hurt, but it was like kind of rude.
Yeah.
And in the moment thing, she flipped him off, and then they had the censor thing. But he was like so confident he was gonna get Leslie's rose.
I know.
It's like, now I'm gonna tell April that I will only see her as a friend.
So it's just like, yeah, what is that supposed to mean?
And they put honorably discharged.
Yes.
April's caption because like Captain Kim.
And I love how April was just like, yeah, I'm out of here. Like, this is so like, I love how she was just so done with it. That was like good for April.
But then Jack swoops in.
Yep. And he wants to spend some time with April, so, which is good. Yeah.
They were the first. They were like kissing in the pool the first week when they arrived.
Yeah.
So they were all good with that. But she does say the quote of like, whatever is meant for me will not pass me by.
Yep.
Which I do agree with.
Yes, I agree with that too.
Very much.
Yes.
Easier said than done, but
yes.
Time you will all find that
what you're looking for
is true.
Yes.
So April says that Jack is like far ahead of anyone she's spoken to tonight, and she told this.
Yep.
And she's like, you just came and saved me.
Yep.
And then they started kissing. And all of the younger ones were watching them.
Yes, and they were all just like, "Oh, I'm so cute." Yes. So,
this whole thing, and they were like,
I just see that the young people are so like infatuated with the Golden. To just like, oh, I'm like look up to them. Like it's so funny. Yeah.
And even Jonathan was happy. I think.
Yes.
His face.
Yeah.
But
yeah. And then what are they?
Tasha started.
Natasha. Yeah.
Talk to RJ and then Gary.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything else to say about
that.
Yeah,
that was pretty much it. She just said that she still likes Gary, and then they talk again. But it kind of seems like she was, again, it was kind of still back and forth, but
Yeah, the women are still, clearly still deciding exactly who they're going to give their rose to.
yeah,
And then Jonathan was just like, yeah, things are not looking
looking
super
so
great
up
for
for
me.
him, yeah,
But April did ask to talk to him.
yeah, and I was like, oh, here's the first sign.
And what she basically said was like, look, you're a great guy. I don't know why these girls aren't all over you.
Yeah,
They're, she's like, I would jump your bounds and like, and always, and this whole thing. And
I love her confidence.
like, but she okay, like taking out the whole like shtick of it all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is genuinely trying to like reassure him.
Yeah, and
that
that's
he's
sweet.
an attractive guy.
Yep.
He's a nice guy. He's
Yeah.
sweet and the whole thing. And I'm like, I agree with April.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
But basically, Jonathan kind of messed up the dynamics, like I said in the last episode, of just like he just went in, he was too passive, he wanted everybody to like him and the whole thing, and he's just like this whole whatever, and then it's like, yeah, because he hasn't created the dynamic of attraction with these women. He almost friend zoned himself with them.
Exactly.
And that's what I think. So like, it's not wrong, but it's just like he has pigeonholed himself in this environment the way he has played everything in Paradise.
Right, yes.
He has not made it that way.
Not really kind of helped himself.
So, but like, good for April for cheering.
Yes, and that's very sweet.
Jonathan is a very attractive guy. Yes, like, I'm just, anyway.
He's like, move on.
But he's too passive. I'm sorry. No.
Yes.
Oh, and then Kathy comes over.
Yes, and then Kathy comes over. Yes.
Kathy comes over, and then Kathy is touching his abs and she's counting, and she's like, "What is this, a 12 pack?" And I'm like, so you have all these older women fawning over Jonathan, and like, he's loving this.
Exactly. He's like, finally, I'm getting some attention. It doesn't matter who it's from.
They're doing it for the cameras.
Yes, they are.
It's funny. I mean, like, I was like, good. Go butter him up, so then maybe he can help when he eventually leaves Paradise or whatever happens. He can like go be confident and pursue people.
Yes.
Don't be so passive.
Yes, exactly.
Anyway.
Yes. So then we got back to Cat and Dale. Yes, which this kind of escalated pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And I put in my notes that he doesn't really seem like he's hearing her and doesn't think it's much of a big deal.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised because you see, especially if he was saying how much he cares about Cat, like he would just see how much this was bothering her. Even if he felt like he was in the right with this whole thing, you would think he would kind of stop and be like, oh, this is still bothering her. Let me just kind of try to just make things right. But he just kept kind of piling on with the defensiveness and the, oh no, why is such a big deal? Oh, like I didn't do. So it was just, I just thought it was so weird how, again, he just was not, it was going in one ear and out the other. It was just crazy.
I just echoed. I didn't get an, what did I say? He's so defensive. Kat actually says that it's not because of her past experience, which is he's invalidating her, and then he said something. This reminds me of my ex.
Reminds me of my ex. Yeah, I'm like, dude, come on, doesn't help anything.
So then they break up. Then separately, that's bad wording. They break up into the separate groups. So Kat goes to talk to the girls, and then he talked to the guys at that point too.
I think so. Yeah. It was a very different dynamic. Yeah.
And then so then as she's. Did you say anything from when they were talking with the girls and the guys separately?
It was, again, like I said, it was just a very different dynamic where like the Cat was really telling the girls like, oh, he's not listening to me and like all this stuff. And then Dale was saying how again, I don't know why this is a big deal to her, like, oh, this is like no, like why you should figure it out, like there's no. So yeah, it was just, again, very different dynamic.
Well, that's why, because then Jonathan swoops in while she's talking to the girls, and then like finally sees an
angle. Yes.
But so that was that. And then Gary was talking to Dale.
Boy Gary. I love this.
Dale was like, basically, why would she bring something up like that on a rose ceremony? Like that would bring up stress and anxiety for me. And I sat there with my mom stuck it through this episode.
Oh, I love that.
And because it was only 2 hours this week. And I literally sat there and I screamed, like, because he said, why would you bring up stress and anxiety for me? And I screamed, I'm like, for you? For you?
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
I was so angry. I was done. And because then at that point, oh, wait, how many times did I go back and forth about this? Because Gary was like going back and forth and like Gary was like literally in the moments like, oh my gosh, like real, like so I'm like, that's all the validation I needed. That like, what was actually occurring there is like generally what we were seeing.
Yes, it wasn't like, oh, okay, it's just for TV. Yeah, for sure. So that was very, very. Yeah.
I mean,
very
Jonathan
crazy.
And Kat did talk.
Yeah, Jonathan and Kat talked, and then Keith talked with Dale, so it was just a lot of stuff. But
Dale talked again.
Yeah, Kat and Dale talked again.
Then the rose ceremony.
And then the rose ceremony, yeah. And I
That was again when the girls go into the one room and the guys
yeah,
go
go on. Yeah,
there.
that was what I was referring to, and I found it really funny how again with the quotes next to everybody's name, just I put the how they said knows when to dead it when he when he was just sitting there, and then when he was talking about, it, I was like, oh, I don't know, like why cat is such a big deal with cat, and then it put deaded man walking.
Yes.
That was really funny. So do you want me to go through the rose ceremony? Okay, okay. So there were some surprises, obviously, but then there were some that were not. So we got Parisa and Brian.
Tell by my face.
Yes, yes. So we got Parisa and Brian, no surprise. Bailey, Jeremy, no surprise. Alex, Andrew, no surprise. Natasha, Gary, which was kind of interesting, but okay. I like again. I think it was more kind of Gary was confused by it because he wanted to pursue Leslie, but it was more just
It's not surprising based on Natasha.
no, Natasha, but Gary.
She stole Leslie's thunder by giving it to Gary.
Gary, yes, exactly. So I thought that was yeah.
And this is where the missteps.
This is where the missteps begin. So Leslie and Kim, which really
he picked Kim, and I'm like,
why?
Sitting there hysterically laughing because I'm like, this man was so convinced he was getting a rose.
Yeah.
And if Natasha hadn't picked Gary, he would not be I can't speak. He would not have been I'm very passionate about
yes,
this.
Yes.
He would not have been receiving Leslie's rose. So now this guy like manifested this, gets this.
It's so funny.
Anyway,
so then we got Keith and Kathy. So again, kind of self-explanatory. And then Jess and Spencer, no surprise. Jill and Sean, no surprise. And here again, just like last week, where we were talking about in episode 2, how I had a suspicion, and we were texting this last night, and we were both kind of thinking that this was going to happen. And like I said last week, I had this very kind of funny suspicion that Justin was going to pick Susie. Same thing this week. When they cut to commercial, I texted Camille and I was like, I literally said, Kat's gonna pick Dale again, isn't she? And because I told my mom because we were watching it together. No, and because I thought, because I literally thought she's gonna kind of give him the benefit of the doubt. It's like, oh yeah, she hurt me, but let me give him another chance. That's what I feel like she was thinking in her mind. And yep, that's what came true. She picked Dale. And
the thing is, it's like, I'm sorry for her to have just picked Jonathan and ended it that abruptly without, because they cut the cocktail hour like right when they were talking. So I'm like, as much as she probably like really probably did genuinely think, do I really want to keep him?
Yeah.
She's like, I can't. She probably was like, I can't do it now. Like, we can't. Like, I can't just do it without having try to have another conversation about it.
Right.
So then April is the final one.
April is the final one. And we all knew where this was going. Same thing. We guessed it. And so April, again, just like from the beginning of the episode and how it seemed like she was really reassuring Jonathan. Again, I feel like she felt, again, really wanted him to have a chance in this. And of course, they're going to play up the whole, like, again, different generations thing. But she ended up picking Jonathan and giving her rose to Jonathan.
Which was nice.
Which was nice. So going home was RJ, Jack, and DK.
But this has, like, now totally messed it up because now they've thrown off the numbers of the golden guys.
Yeah.
And it's like, I felt bad for Jack because I'm like, okay, like, April and him did connect.
Yeah.
And, like, I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's just like you feel bad that they go home, but also the other women are kind of pissed about it because they're like, she messes up for all of us.
Exactly.
It's like 3 golden guys.
And that's
it.
That's it.
Like, I don't really know if any of the rest of them are going to connect with Kim.
And
I mean, we know he's not going to connect with April. So
no, so that's already clear. Sure. So then it's the next day arrives.
No.
Oh no.
Oh,
you're right. I'm sorry. Yes. After the rose ceremony.
Normally it is.
Normally, I was just so used to again the cutting to the next day. But just when we thought that things with Kat and Dale were finished, we were sadly mistaken. So, do you want to say what happened with that?
He just was like, they start talking about it again after the rose ceremony because they're all sitting there having drinks, like chilling, whatever.
Yeah.
He's being ridiculous.
Yeah.
And what bothered me so much was like he started talking about like, oh, well, we have different upbringings.
We come from different backgrounds.
It's so like it is so demeaning.
Yeah.
To say something like that because I should have thought of how I was going to formulate this. Because I think it's just like it's like passing judgment on her character.
Yeah.
And it's also making him act like she's less than.
Yeah.
Like in his mind, she's less than him.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
he's acting like she's being childish, needy, this, whatever, bitter, blah, 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 dramatic, insert whatever word.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm sorry. Everybody has a different upbringing. And just because you're your upbringing might differ from the other person, but there's a level of like you should be in this mindset of trusting that the other person's doing the best they can do
Right.
and that you're going to work together to communicate.
Yes.
So he is literally putting all of the blame on her. And it cracks me up because like when he came in, she was like, oh, older guy, da da da, more mature. He's acting less mature than some of the younger
guys. Yeah. So
Anyway,
that was very, very frustrating for sure.
does not mean everything.
Age does not
I will
mean
say
everything.
that.
Yes, for sure. So that is
Yeah.
again, that was very frustrating. And so now it's the next morning, I think. Yes,
Yes.
Now it was the next morning.
Yes.
And so then we have breakfast conversations that Leslie and Gary had, and then with Natasha. What did you have with that? Did you have anything?
So Leslie, told Gary that she was gonna give him her rose.
Yeah.
But Natasha beat her to it.
Yeah.
And then
And he said he's all in with Leslie and not Natasha.
yes.
Yes.
This is
It's kind of get awkward. Yeah.
And then Natasha comes over to talk to him, and it's kind of like the Zoe Bryan thing,
Yes.
except this is like a little different in the sense of like Natasha's like trying to talk to Gary, and he's like not being as talkative with her because he's like not as interested. And then Natasha said like she felt iced out. I think it said iced out thing. So I mean it's awkward, but like yeah, I mean not for nothing. It was like Gary could have also said no to Natasha's rose, but I don't think they understand the implications of that. They just were like, well, let's just let it slide.
Yeah.
But he probably should have said no because he pretty much knew he wasn't interested in Natasha as well then. I'm assuming. I mean, I can imagine that much shifted from the night to the daytime.
Me neither, for sure.
You can take the next part.
Okay.
We'll finish up your thoughts and then you can take the next
part.
Okay.
So that was pretty much all I had on that. So next, again, just like we thought that the Kat and Dale stuff was like done, and it wasn't. Same thing with the Leslie and Kim situation. It was not done. Captain Kim. Yes. And
correct you. I'm just making sure they're connecting to my story.
Yes. So this is where we get where Kim reads this really sweet poem to Leslie, and then again she thinks it's very sweet, but clearly friend zones him, and it's just like, yeah, no, not interested. And it was just crazy. It was just because all the memes they start doing, and there was one with Jonathan's face like this. Yeah. Leslie while Kim is reading his poem. Help, yep. And they're all watching this like, oh my gosh. But it was like a sweet poem. It was a sweet poem, but she's like, but no. I don't, yeah. So that was very, very interesting. And so we're getting towards the end of the episode, but we have two new arrivals coming in, one golden and one youngin. We have Nancy and Leia. So that was really interesting. Yeah. And Nancy's from, Gary's season, the Bachelor. And then Leia Joey? Leia was from Joey's season. Yeah. And I remember with my mom, she is the one that when they did the special thing that she got the card after the final rose for charity season. So Leia was the one that had and then I think that was the point that she could send someone home. Steal a one-on-one date. Yeah. Something like that at whatever point. And then she like freaked out about that whole thing. But that's Leia. Yes. And I think there was some drama like with her later on in her season too. But I mean, she seemed fine. Yeah. Product of circumstances of her last season. Exactly. Again, it was very quick. She talks with Leia talks with Sean and Jonathan. Again, very quick, kind of just getting to know them because they just arrived. And then Jill gets jealous because Sean was really kind of all in, or at least it seemed with Jill, because it was like, oh yeah, we kind of had nobody, and we just kind of, okay, here it is. And that made sense. And so then Jill was like, oh, I can't catch a break. Like whenever I'm like liking somebody, it's like then they go on to the next person. Yeah. And then Nancy and Gary talk. So I thought that was interesting because again, he was already kind of committed to Leslie. So again, I think it was just more kind of just getting to know people. Yeah. Well, Nancy and Keith also spoke because he basically said that him and Kathy don't have a romantic relationship. I was like, okay. Does Kathy know that? Yeah, it's like I don't know if she's on, like if she's filled in with that part. Yeah. Just talk about there was the part the guys were like all holding their hands. Like, oh yeah. And what that means. YouTube pics as the thumbnail again. Oh, I really hope that would be really funny if that was the case though. No, it wouldn't be. Photo then. Yes, I will. We're not using that. I saw the editing. Yes. So then,
Nice.
Faith, we got a new
Yes,
arrival with Faith arriving, and she comes in a very grand entrance on a horse on the beach.
because she lives on a
She lands
ranch.
on a
Or
ranch,
I
yeah.
forgot what
So I
state
thought
she
that
lives
was
in.
really funny. And that's pretty much where the episode ends. They're kind of just talking where, again, kind of seeing what's going to happen. And then we cut to the promo for
Massive promo.
massive promo for the entire season. And it's like kind of what they've done for the first three episodes in the promos. They've kind of just shown what's going on the following week. But this was like the entire season preview. And it seems like they're really changing up the format from what we've
Yeah.
ever from what we're used to seeing on the show entirely. They're doing a lot more of like challenges and games where I guess maybe even the couples are like competing with each other in different things, and then they got to make a decision of like, oh, if we
Yeah.
win this, people get money, and then I think the whole prize at the end is they said it's $500,000,
Yeah.
which again they've never. This is like a whole
No.
like bachelor pad kind of thing, but like they said times 10.
No.
So
But before that, they even had this whole like Birds of Paradise
Birds
thing
of
where they're,
Paradise, yeah,
like dressing up and dancing, and it's very interesting.
very
It's just
interesting.
like drama craziness.
Yes,
So
it's very different from what we're used to for sure. And that was pretty much how the episode ended. Did you have
yeah.
anything?
The only other thing that I mean, I don't know. It's going to
It's
be
gonna
a
be
crazy
crazy.
story.
Yes, yes.
But I was happy that because like I forgot if we said that they're not putting the funny clips at the end. Like after the whatever it ends and then they do the funny clips, they did it this time.
Oh
They're all
yes.
sitting around the bar and then Kathy was like asking
Oh,
like
this was so
some of the
funny.
young ones, she's
Yeah.
like, did you ever use floppy disks? And I think she was shocked because like Andrew answered yes.
Yes. Yeah.
He's like a few years younger than me. So like she's like, did you use floppy disks? He goes like, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you use the Dewey Decimal System? Some of them didn't know what it was, but I think I think he said yes.
Yeah.
But then she's like, did you ever watch VHS tapes? And he's like, yeah. And she was like shocked. And
Yes. It's just like, okay, yeah.
young do you think they are?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, we were born in the like they're all born in the 90s. Most
So
of
it's
them,
like
right?
that wouldn't be too
Maybe
far
you-
fetched. Yeah.
And then I was just like, and then Kathy was just saying certain. Oh, and then so if my grandchildren weren't watching the show, there were so many other things.
There's I would say to you, yeah.
So it was. I'm glad they put that in there.
Me
because
too.
I think they didn't do that the past few weeks.
Yeah,
Like, come on,
I've
we
missed
just-
that for sure. It's like that's how you have to end the episode on the Bachelor show is with a funny clip. So that was where the episode ended, and yeah, like we said in the promo, I think we're in for a pretty wild ride for the rest of the season for sure. It's gonna give us a lot to recap, I believe.
Yeah.
So
Here's to hoping Dale goes home next week.
Yeah, yes.
Not that I've given my opinion.
Yes. So with that, I guess we will wrap up now. So yes, we're going to wrap up now. Thank you guys again so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell on YouTube, and also consider following us on Instagram. Same thing, Ballers and Bachelors, because we get into a lot of craziness over there. And like we said, we're going to have so much to be kind of recapping in the coming weeks. And thank you guys again so much for watching. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.